servitorship. Today's devotional service in friendship. Devotional service in friendship can be divided into two categories. The first is to act as a confidential servant of the Lord, and the other is to act as the well-wisher of the Lord. First one is confidential servant. Friend is friend, but friend is confidential servant. And another friend is a well-wisher. In English also, in Sanskrit also, there are three words. Who was explained like Mitra, Bandhu, Shuhrit. Mitra, official friend. Bandhu, more close, like brother, even father-mother relationship is brother relation. And this is Bandhu. And with the Lord, Shuhrit. Shuhridam Sarvabhutana. So Mitra, Bandhu, Shuhrit. So there is another category. But here, with the Lord, there are two categories. One is confidential servant, another is well-wisher, Shubhakankhi. They're not active in service, but they're well-wisher. The devotee who has confidence in devotional service to the Lord systematically follows the rules and regulations with the faith that he will achieve the platform of transcendental life. That is confidential servant. But second type, well-wisher, is become the of the Supreme Personal Godhead. Who are the well-wisher? In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord accepts a preacher as the most dear servant. The second type of devotional service is to become the well-wisher of the Supreme Personal Godhead. He is also a friend, but he is the best. Here, Bhagavad Gita what say? In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord accepts a preacher as the most dear servant. And Bhagavad Gita says, Nacha tasmat manusheshu paschit me priyakattama bhavitana chame tasmat anno priyataro. In 18th chapter, at last, Krishna said, he is the best who preach this Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is preaching the confidential message of the Gita to the people in general is so dear to Krishna that no one can be equal to him in human society. That is service, Krishna's service. In Mahabharata, Draupadi says, my dear Govinda, your promise that your devotee can never be vanquished, Nami Bhakta Pranashyati. I believe in that statement, and therefore, in all kinds of tribulations, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live. Wow. If any problem, Krishna, you told, I'll protect my devotees, so I am a devotee. The purport is that Draupadi and her 5 husbands, the Pandavas, were put into severe tribulations by their cousin brother Duryodhana, as well as by others. The tribulations were so severe that even Bhishmadev, who was both a lifelong brahmachari and a great warrior, would sometimes shed tears thinking of them. Bhishmadev was always surprised that all the Pandavas were so righteous, and Draupadi was practically the goddess of fortune. And although Krishna was their friend, still they had to undergo such severe tribulation. You may remember in Bhagavatam, when Bhishmadev was passing away, Bhishmadev was telling like this. Though their tribulations were not ordinary, Draupadi was not discouraged. She knew that because Krishna was their friend, ultimately they should be saved. And Krishna is our friend, and Krishna said, I will protect. So I should fear. A similar statement is there in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, chapter, verse 53, where Havis, the son of Rishabh, addressed Maharaj's name. Rishabdev, King Rishabdev, 9 sons. They are called Navajogendra. That 9 brothers came to meet Maharaj Nimi. Maharaj Nimi asked 9 questions. 9 brothers give different questions answer. Here, one of the brothers, his name is Hobi. He is telling, my dear king, a person who never deviates, even for a moment, from engagement in service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person. That means engagement which is sought even by the great demigods like Indra, with firm conviction that there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than this, is called the first class devotee. So one point I want to mention here. Here it said 2 types of friends. One is constant service and evolution. But later on, Rupa Goswami will explain in 4 types of shakha. Service here 2 types, but later we'll read on Shakha Ras will come. Later chapters. There it will explain Krishna's 4 types of friends. Like demigods also like friends, the Adhikrita Das. Some seniors, some juniors, some equals. The 4 types of friends, Krishna. But this is in another context. Sri Rupa Goswami says that a neophyte devotee who has simply developed a slight love of Godhead is certainly a prospective candidate for devotional service. When he becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes a confidential part of his devotional service. I'm reading last one line, sentence. When he becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes a confidential part of his devotional service. Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in a temple for the Lord in order to serve him as a confidential friend. Such friendly behavior of a devotee may be accepted as raganuga or spontaneous. Although, according to regulatory principles, no one can lie down in the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This spontaneous love of Godhead may be grouped under devotional service in friendship. Grouped under devotional service in friendship. Now, next point, surrendering everything to the Lord. Regarding complete self-surrender, there is a nice description in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 34, why the Lord says, a person who has completely surrendered unto me and has completely given up all other activities is protected by me personally, both in this life and in the next. In other words, I wish to help him become more and more advanced in spiritual life. Such a person is to be understood as having already achieved Shashti. Shashti means one of the opulence. Same Oishwarya, same opulence. When 5 types of mukti liberation, one type of liberation, Shashti, with same opulence. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that as soon as a person surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna takes care of him and gives him a guarantee of protection from all sinful reactions. Aham tam sarvapapam mokshoisham. He also instructs from within so that the devotee may very quickly make advancement toward spiritual perfection. Bhagavad Gita mentioned, Dadami buddhi jogam jenotam upajanti. So another verse is Tesham eva anukampartham aham aggamejantam nashayami atma bhavastha jnanati vinavasya. Nashayami atma, I will vanquish all the darkness or ignorance. This self-surrender is called Atma-nivedana. Atma-nivedana. You may sometimes speak, what is the difference between surrender and Sharanagati and Atma-nivedana? Sharanagati surrender is, for Prabhupada, this is a little difficult to give proper English transliteration. Sharanagati has 6 limbs. One of the limbs is Atma-nivedana. That Atma-nivedana is telling about. This Atma. That is a self-surrender, Atma-nivedana. According to different authorities, self is differently defined. What is self? Self is sometimes considered to refer to the spirit self or soul, and self is sometimes considered to refer to mind or to the body. What is the English of the self? Atma. In Prabhupada mentioned in Bhagavatam, there is in Vishwakosh, there are 7 meanings of Atma, self. Atma means soul, Atma means body, Atma means Atma, Atma means Buddhi. So, in different ways, Atmaiva Atmana Buddha, Atmaiva Ripura Atmana. 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita. So, Atma is different. The self is different. Full self-surrender, therefore, means not only surrendering oneself as a spirit soul, but also surrendering one's mind and body to the service of the Lord. Manosho deho geho jo kichumo or pilutua pade nandapisha. For explaining this Atma-nivedana, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote this song. Manosho, mind. Deho, geho. Not only that, jo kisumor, whatever. Giving everything to Krishna, that is called self-surrender. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung a nice song in this connection while offering himself as a fully surrendered soul. He said, my mind, my household affairs, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Now you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessor of everything. So if you like, you can kill me, or if you like, you can give me protection. All authority belongs to you. I have nothing to claim as my own. Marobi rakhobi jo ichha tomhara. Nitya dashoprati tua adhikara. You want to keep me or kill me, I am an eternal servant, you have the right. The owner of the animal, he can feed him, he not feed him, he can sell him, he can kill him. He has that. If you want to keep me, take birth again, Brahma, okay, Brahma. If you want to make me take birth as an insect, okay? But I don't want to forget you. If Brahma post, no service to you, I don't like it. So self-surrender in the beginning in the song, Manosho Deho Go Chuk whatever. And last he again concluded by saying, Janoko Janoni Doito Tana Prabhu Guru Poti Tuhu Sarvama. You are my father, you are my mother, you are my guru, you are my teacher, you are my friend, you are my everything. You are my husband, you are my everything. That is self-surrender. Not only soul. Oh, I have given my soul to you. No, give a bank account. No, I'll give my bank account to my son and wife. I'll give myself to temple discount. Sri Jamunacharya in his prayer to the Lord has expressed a similar idea in the following words. My dear Lord, I may be living within somebody as a human being or as a demigod, but whatever mode of life, I do not mind. Because these bodies are simply byproducts of the three modes of material nature. And I, who am in possession of these bodies, am surrendering myself unto you. In Hari Bhakti Vivek, there is a statement regarding how one can offer his body in self-surrender. There the devotee says, my dear Lord, as a soul animal has no need to think about his maintenance and sustenance. So because I have given up my body and soul unto you, I am no longer concerned with my maintenance and sustenance. Amar nohito ami. I am not my, I am your. Karamare atmashat. I am your property. Now it is your responsibility to maintain. In other words, one should not bother about his personal or family maintenance or sustenance. If one is actually surrendered in body and soul, he should always remember that his only concern is to engage in the service of the Lord. Unfortunately, we can give so many lectures on this. And when that problem comes to us, we forget. Or condition like bird in the cage. You can make so many things to say, oh, tell this, become good. But when it will catch by a snake, he'll forget everything else. Our condition is like that. We know so many philosophy. But when actual problem comes, we forget. Now it is time to practice. How to practice? That is why Krishna sometimes takes some test. So it's sometimes we have actually understood or not. We should not fail on this small tests. Actual test actually is a death. So if in a small test we fail, then what will happen in a final test? Srila Rupa Goswami says that devotional service in friendship and devotional service in self-surrender are two difficult processes. Therefore, such relationships with the Lord can very rarely be seen. Only for the advanced devotees are these two processes easily executed. The purport is that it is very rare to see surrender which is mixed with sincere ecstatic devotion. One must give himself completely to the will of the Lord. One must give himself completely to the will of the Lord. Okay, Krishna's desire, let it happen. Now, Next item is offering a favorite article. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, verse 41, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, my dear friend Uddhava, if someone offers me the best things in his possession or anything which is very pleasing to him, he will be eternally benefited. Oh, Krishna said, Patam Pusham Phalantam. I'll give that. I'll take 40 Shabjan and Gulab Jamun. If you like that, Krishna also like that. So why not give that? I've seen like wherever Guru Maharaj goes, if he gets something nice food, he'll call the cook and tell me the recipe. I'll teach other also. During Prasad, he'll call the cook. Oh, it is very nice. Tell the recipe. And I'll teach other. This is, you can make this way. So always we should try to be, as I am this, I taste this very good. Must be Krishna like this. So you should offer it. I like mango very much. And Krishna also likes mango. Give mango. But it is not the way. I like fish, the Krishna like fish, not like that. Don't give that excuse. Performing all endeavors for Krishna. This is called Krishna Arthe Okhilo Cheshta. Krishna Arthe Okhilo Cheshta. For Krishna, I am ready to do anything I have. In Narad Pancharat, there is a statement of how one can act in all spheres of life for the satisfaction of the Lord. It is stated there that a person who is actually in devotional service must be engaged in all kinds of activities, those prescribed in the revealed scriptures, and also those who are accepted for livelihood. In other words, not only should a devotee engage himself in the prescribed duties of devotional service, which are mentioned in the revealed scriptures, but he should also perform the duties of his practical life in Krishna consciousness. For example, a devotee who has a great establishment or factory may offer the fruits of such a material possession for the service of the Lord. Krishna Arthe Okhila Cheshta. Yes, I want to big temple for Krishna. I want to distribute Krishna's book. I want to distribute Prabhupada's book in every house. Because Krishna wants. Next point, being a surrendered soul. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is the following statement about self-surrender. My dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in firm conviction that he is yours, and who actually acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. I'm reading again. My dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in firm conviction that, what is that? He is, I am yours. Who actually acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. Only Krishna, I am yours. Okay. In Nishingapura, Lord Nishingadev says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter of me becomes my ward. And I protect him always from all sorts of calamities. Anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter of me becomes my word, and I will protect him always from all sorts of calamities. In so many places, Lord has given assurance for protection. In Skanda Puran, there is a statement praising the Tulsi tree as follows. Serving the trees such as Tulsi tree. Skanda Puran mentioned. Sometimes the exam is very difficult to memorize. And this statement is Skanda Puran or Hari Bhakti Vilash. That is the exam is a little difficult. But if we are able to remember, no harm. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Tulsi tree, which can immediately vanquish volumes of sinful activities. Simply by seeing or touching this tree, one can become relieved from all distresses and diseases. Simply by offering obeisances and pouring water on the Tulsi tree, one can become freed from all fear of being sent to the court of Jamraj. If someone sows a Tulsi tree somewhere, certainly he becomes devoted to Lord Krishna. And when Tulsi leaves are offered in devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna, there is full development of love of God. So, how many just respectful obeisances? Simply by seeing or touching. Seeing one, touching one. Paying obeisances, seeing, touching, disease and distress. Simply by obeisances. And pouring water. Tulsi tree. So, show the Tulsi tree, plant Tulsi tree, and offer Tulsi leaves in devotion. Is it very difficult? Respectful obeisances, seeing, touching, pouring water. So, Tulsi tree, Tulsi leaves offered in devotion. Tremendous. In India, all Hindus, even those not belong to the Vaishnava group, take a special care of the Tulsi tree. I've seen in so many villages, every tree, every house has a Tulsi plant. So many villages. Even in great cities, where it is very difficult to keep a Tulsi tree, people are found very carefully keeping this plant. They water it and offer obeisances to it, and because worship of the Tulsi tree is very important in devotional service. Tulsi service is so important. You can see in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada never mentioned any of his disciples' name. But Prabhupada, only one disciple's name wrote in the purport of Bhagavatam, Govinda Dashi. Because Govinda Dashi took risk of taking the Tulsi plant in Western country. She started planting it. So Prabhupada was so pleased, Prabhupada wrote his name in Bhagavatam. Can you imagine how important this serving Tulsi plant? In Skanda Puran, there is another statement about Tulsi as follows. Tulsi is auspicious in all aspects. Simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering, simply by praying to, simply by bowing down before, simply by hearing about, and simply by sowing this tree, there is always auspiciousness. So many, bowing down, simply hearing about the glory, that is also. Anyone who comes in touch with the Tulsi tree in the above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha, lives eternally in the Vaikuntha. Wow, wow. Anyone who comes in touch with the Tulsi tree, in the above mentioned ways, lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. What is tremendous? I hope everybody is doing some sort of service. If you go Vrindavan, in our Krishna Balaram, Radha Parthasharthi temple, there is nice Tulsi garden. I will request you, don't forget to see that. There is one devotee, his name is Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu. His only service for taking care of that Tulsi, few Tulsi. That Tulsi is so big, you cannot imagine. For 10-15 years, very big trees. And you cannot touch them. They are bounded so ways. What about entering? You cannot touch them. He's so well protected. Even he is serving so nicely, even after eating prasad, after changing clothes, he enters the garden. So he is not in contaminated, even after taking prasad also he is with that. And sit down in the garden and chants hours together. Because Tulsi wants to hear. And I told him, what food you are giving? He said, whatever fruits and other costly food I get from the as a brahmacharya, so I put it and I put in the root of the plants. Because I have to love more than me. Wow, what is the love? Can you imagine? It is so big. You cannot think how big, like a tree. We cannot, another big tree you can see in Prabhupada's birthplace. Very big. It's not so high, very big. You cannot imagine, you can think of so many plants are there. No? And that is coming from the wall. Just imagine. It's coming from the wall and very big, maybe more than 1 meter in diameter. So Tulsi plant, if you take care, it is not, oh, Tulsi plant does not survive. It is wrong. Jani kani chapapani brahmohatya dikani. Jani kani chapapani. Whatever papani, simple activities. Brahmohatya dikani. Even killing the Brahman. All will be vanquished. Simply why? Simply parikrama. So, if I get time tomorrow, I will explain the meaning of Tulsi Arati. Thank you very much. I have no time to the question. I have one appointment. Shri Prabhupada, extra devotion. Go.